Hello, everybody, and welcome to Gene's Reviews. Reviews from a regular dude, where I do trailer reactions, I react to YouTube videos, I review YouTube channels. Occasionally, I'll review a movie, but really, I just do whatever the hell I want. This first short story for you tonight is called There Is Something Wrong with My Son. It seems so pointless and ungrateful for me to even complain about what most people would say is nuts, but I have a theory that my 15-year-old son isn't my son. I'm not saying that I think he was either switched at birth or that my wife cheated on me back then, but he and I don't click at all. Don't get me wrong, he looks like me, sounds like me, and even acts like me at times, especially when he's angry or finds something amusing. People are always praising my wife and I for raising such a perfect, well-mannered, intelligent, and good-looking boy who cares about the world and all creatures, great and small. But if you ask me, he's a little too perfect. Even when he loses his temper, he's thoughtful and soon apologizes. Some would say that we have a perfect life. We're well off and we live in a beautiful home, which is taken care of by my wonderful wife. Some say we're so lucky that it hurts. But I'd give anything to have what other people have, even if it meant being poorer. I enjoy seeing the trials and tribulations of others. That's what life is supposed to be all about, but my wife, she doesn't agree. She loves how perfect her little angel is and goes on and on about how wonderful he is. It makes me want to vomit and scream. The only time she ever lost her temper was 6 months ago when I told her about a vivid dream I had. It started with my son being a year old again. I went into his room, saw the window open with the curtains flying and flapping about. I went over to close the window when I felt the hairs on my neck prickle. I slowly turned around and saw an evil-looking shadow person leaning over the crib. My instincts kicked in and I raced over to the crib, but the creature grabbed my son up and leapt out of the window. I yelled for my wife as I ran down the stairs to apprehend the creature as my son screamed in terror. When I made it outside, she came up behind me with our son on her hip. Both were smiling sweetly at me. After that dream, I woke up crying and saying that I finally knew what happened to our son, that we'd been left with a changeling from the other side. My wife was so enraged she slapped me across the face. She was so hurt that she began to cry. I comforted her and I tried to shake the dream off. I'll never forget the next morning at breakfast when my son gave me the strangest smile. He said, "I love you, Father. You know that, right?" I gulped, nearly choked on my coffee because I was so chilled by the undertone of his trained voice. "Yeah, I know that, Daniel. I love you too." I watched as he stared right through me with his pale green eyes before he looked back at his eggs with a satisfied smile. Just yesterday we went to a crazy New Age festival which my wife loves to attend. She and Daniel put on some crazy hats and danced with other nuts while I sipped some god-awful herbal smoothie. I nearly choked when I saw a boy watching me from the other side of the field. Something about his eyes and the wistful way he looked at me pulled at my heartstrings. I started to move towards him, but in an instant, he was gone. I could have sworn I saw a dark figure leading him away. I was then distracted by Daniel, who gave me an almost threatening look. "Father, aren't you going to join in?" he asked in a menacing tone. When I saw the pained look in my wife's eyes, I gave in and took his hand. "Sure," I smiled. I keep telling myself, someday soon. I knew that the creature wanted to take over my body. I felt my muscles lock as my eyes opened up to see the green, ghostly monster concentrated on ripping my soul out. The fear of seeing such a beast, including the fluids running through its ethereal body, made me zoom into space. As soon as I got out of my body, I realized that my mortal life was in danger. So I quickly flew back into the room. Hovering over the bed, I saw that the evil spirit wasn't aware that I'd left my body as it continued to wave its hand. I saw my inert and wide-eyed body as the monster hunched over me, increasing the speed of his waving. At a loss as to what to do, I called on my higher self to help, even though I didn't exactly know what that meant. As soon as I thought that, a bright orange light penetrated the room, which distracted the monstrous spirit. I saw it slowly turn around and growl at my higher spirit, which was a large ball of orange light floating next to me. What frightened me more was that the monster then turned to look at me, hovering over my still frozen body. I saw the entirety of his reptilian soul, like a shell of luminescent green light, transparent like a ghost and deadly. Finger counting. My daughter woke me up around 11:50 last night. My wife and I had picked her up from her friend Sally's birthday party, brought her home and put her to bed. My wife went into the bedroom to read while I fell asleep watching the Braves game. "Daddy," she whispered, tugging my shirt sleeve, "guess how old I'm going to be next month?" "Well, I don't know, Beauty," I said as I slipped on my glasses. "How old?" She smiled and held up 4 fingers. "It is 7:30 now. My wife and I have been up with her for almost 8 hours. She still refuses to tell us where she got them." Thank you, everybody. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hashtag Mean Gene, all that fun stuff. And if you like this video, tell all your friends, leave a comment down below. And if you didn't like it, then just shut up. And I will see you next time.